Be gone! Don't think this is over! I will destroy you! Powerful wave of energy.
Hello everybody, welcome to my review of the latest episode of Beyblade Burst GT. Make sure to hit the like button, show your support, and finally, Drum is able to end the, I guess I'll call this the Apocalypse arc, or the Arthur arc, I don't know. Doesn't really count, the arc's I don't think technically over yet, because the arc's only really over after the opening changes. Every time the opening changes, it means it's technically the new arc or whatever. But yeah, I watch the episodes on Beyblade.jp. I go to the Korokoro YouTube channel. I use a VPN. I use Proton VPN, or you can use Tunnel Bear, one or the other. I use that to watch the thing. Please do not comment any illegal sites that are not official. Please, I don't know. I don't have to go through deleting it and whatever. So please support the official release. And yeah, we're gonna get started. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of Sakugag. Basically, I used that term only last time with 5 versus Iga, or 5 versus Iger. What that basically means is that, so Sakugag means basically like drawing in Japanese, right? And you know, terms really just used for like when there are certain segments in like an anime, right, where the animation is really top notch, through either the help of, like in general, through the storyboarding, the animation, and this is probably what I would say the second best episode of Burst that was ever animated. The first one has to go to 5 versus Iger, or 5 versus Iga, just because of the fact that higher production compared to this one, and GT does suffer a lot. Like, I'll get into why, but this episode has a lot of cool stuff in it, a lot of like nice little tidbits, but I'm gonna go over everything in a breakdown through the thing. Or just really just talk about it and review it, because it's really awesome. So anyways, let's begin. So, we got our boy Drum. We gotta go all the way to the start. So Fumiya is mad, and there's, I don't know if this is a reuse shot or not from a previous episode. I'm pretty sure this is a new segment. Regardless, he's upset because Drum needs to win so Fumiya can get the Spark Devils recruits back to him, because they all joined the Apocalypse thing and left Fumiya. And really nice smear thing right here. So if you don't know what a smear frame is, so to describe this, I believe, so basically what a smear is that, you know, in real life, when we move our arms or when something's in motion, right, it's like a motion blur that we use, right, to make it seem like it's in a motion. Or no, there's a little motion blur, yeah. So in animation, what they'll do is they'll draw little smears of it to sort of get that similar effect. And it is a really nice little, you know, that's like, I just wanted to explain that term just because I don't think I've ever explained it before. You know, you'll see it in old cartoons, maybe some cartoons today. Or anime is like a more common thing just to see maybe stuff like that. But, yeah, I'm just trying my best to explain without saying anything wrong. Anyways, they're reviewing the footage, going over, and basically the whole thing is that Drum's trying to do a rebound attack to get Apocalypse out of the stadium. So, the new battle starts, and what's really awesome is that the little whiskers of Dragon appear on Drum, backs out for a second, and we get this cool shot of a nice blend of colors that contrast with the light blue and the white. Drum and Dragon literally just say, let's go and do this, let's win it, launch their bay. I believe this is a new technique. He yells ignition boost. If not, he just yells ignition boost either way. So he gets the electricity charged in his hands, or this aura, and he slams it into the ground, and he does an ignition boost. So what ignition boost basically is he activates ignition right away. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe that they actually showed off how ignition really works in the anime. like how it's supposed to go all the way left, and then I have to do right, left, right, do the cycle thing. Maybe they'll show it next episode, but they only show the part where it just activates. But still, ignition activates, he's slamming it around, and we get this amazing shot of Arthur where he has like this little blast thing in his hands. Like you literally see him punch through it. It is such an amazing shot. I'm trying to put it in the right order. So it goes like this, 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 and this. Beautiful smears and everything, an amazing effect on this, really nice shot. So Apocalypse basically gets charged, and again, you know, Arthur says the usual move, whatever, End Crusher, End Blaster, I don't really care, the move's not even that cool of a name. Anyways, attacks Dragon, and what it does is a barrage of hits on Dragon, smacking Dragon around. He keeps on smacking Dragon around. What's really amazing is such a cool perspective shot where the camera angle of the thing is like, kind of like at the bottom, to where we get like a top right angle of Drum. And you see like his legs and everything. You see this beautiful like drawn smoke effect. And then after it transitions to Arthur, where there's like the smoke is like going around, you actually see his hair move with the thing and everything with the air pressure. Really amazing and awesome. So then after Apocalypse goes through another barrage of hits, and Drum's worried because if Drum does not act, the same thing's gonna happen before, and his base is gonna be done. But as his base falling through, really nice CGI effect here. So it's a lens flare effect, and it transitions to the eyes. Dark Turbo. Drum's scared because if Drum does not act now, he's done. But he does act, and it's a really cool thing. It's like wow, so expressive this shot here with his face and everything. Slams down on the ground, beautiful effects and everything. You actually even see, I think those are Dragon's eyes in the back. I'm pretty sure, or Imperial. Imperial's falling. Big hit, cool impact frame thing. So even though the model is CGI, what they did is they actually turned the black and white and inverted it to make it look like an impact frame. It's shining and Drum activates. You know what he activates? Gold Turbo. So what's really awesome and a good attention to detail is that not only do we see the rebounding gimmick that we've seen from before, but we actually see it push it back and actually activates Drum's awakening on Imperial, or close to getting his full awakening on it. Basically, that's where the rubber contact points become exposed. And guess who wins? It is Drum. The score is 1-1. Cool smoke, not really smoke, more like fire in the background. They're both showing their bases against each other. It's gonna be the one that's gonna decide it. Their bases are both launched. He yells Apocalypse, Drum yells for Dragon. Big clash, and I love this shot here again. So expressive. Like, not only does this have good storyboarding in the episode from scene to scene, but the art is stellar. Like a lot of times in GT, a lot of shots looked really ugly, and usually you would see stuff like, you know, I'm trying to think of an example. You know, in some anime, no, I don't really think Burst ever does it, but usually, like, whenever the TV version is aired, or I guess this version, right? Later on when the Blu-ray comes out, they would do all the corrections in the animation, but I don't think Burst ever does any corrections to the animation, so if we have a really awkward looking shot, that's gonna stay there. And what really sucks too is, like, for example, in Chozi, when I think it was the episode between Iger versus Laban or whatever, there was one shot where Chozi Achilles, the CGI of it was flipped, and that is such a stupid error in the animation that did not get corrected. So there's like a lot of faults with the Burst animation. So whenever we actually get good parts, like, it's just so satisfying to see. It actually like makes me kind of like excited for Burst, because a lot of times Burst is kind of like generic with the battles and basic, especially with GT with how formulaic it is. So having stuff like this is such like a breath of fresh air. So it is clashing, both the blades are clashing, and Drum and Arthur are neck and neck. Everybody's watching. They're both in each other. Drum yells, "Now Dragon!" And then after, Arthur literally does the re pose. Literally does re. He literally does the re pose. He just calls out the same move he did before. Powers up. Dark Turbo versus Gold. Drum has a cool thing where he grabs like the aura in his hand. And I think this transitions to the usual bank animation shot, if I'm yelling Gachinko, whatever. He does Ignition Boost. Ignition Boost is where basically kicks in. It's really cool. So it's Gold Turbo and Ignition. And a really awesome shot of Arthur. So what he actually does, he has to take this cool like ball in his hand, like Ryuga when he does his direct move, electricity's there. And he finally activates Ultimate Reboot. I don't know if it's just because they forgot about it or whatever, but Ultimate Reboot has not been utilized at all. And finally gets utilized. And this makes Apocalypse attacks a lot more stronger. And we get a cool shot where Arthur is sort of like moving around with like this like fiery smoke thing around him. It transitions to Apocalypse hitting on Dragon. And we see such an expressive shot from Drum. So like expressive, and like the animation and the flow of it feels so good when you're looking at it to the eye. Pure eye candy for Beyblade, really pure eye candy. There's a rebound thing, goes for it, hits Apocalypse, bada bing, bada boom. Delta gets avenged because Apocalypse loses. And this is probably the funniest shot in the episode because he literally makes the face like, what do you do? What do you do? No, I won't. And a really awesome shot of Drum posing, smiling out of victory for beating Arthur. His friend celebrates. I do have to say this. Now I do have to point this out because there's the shot where it goes to Fumiya and Fumiya does the thing. But that is reused from episode 23 and I am sorry, but that is lazy. Look, if you want to reuse bank animation for when they're doing the avatars and powering up and the generic, oh, shuto, whatever thing, I'm alright with that. But come on, man. That's like, you couldn't just animate a shot where Fumiya was doing something like that? Like, I don't, that's like unnecessary to reuse. That really does show the production of Beyblade Burst GT. And I mean this like honestly, like I was really annoyed. I'm like, come on. I'm alright if they want to use it for shots like the avatars and whatever, that's fine. But like for stuff like that, come on. But what's really interesting is that Delta is back at BC Seoul and we finally see our Wonder Boy Valt return. I'm gonna probably say, I'll probably try to put a Valt cameo in the title or Valt's back kind of. It's really weird because we see Valt and he comforts Delta and that's what I really like that because that is like, you know, Valt's character is very friendly and everything. I like that he was there, but where has he been? You know, that's my thing. That's sort of like, that's really an I'm sorry, but I really gotta criticize that. That's an inconsistency in the writing. And if it's the same in the manga, it's the same in the manga. Like, so Arthur destroys Drum and Delta, and Delta's Diabolos, and Valt's nowhere to be seen at all. Like, when Shu and Free got their base destroyed, and like Valt actually cared and whatever, and he was there, like, is this what you think Beyblade is? But Arthur does it, and Valt doesn't even, like, he's not even there to react or anything like that. I don't know, it doesn't seem like it would make any sense. Like, Valt would why was Valt not involved in this arc at all? Like, that's one of the things I don't get. Like, if you're gonna have characters like Valt's there, at least utilize him. Like, if you don't want to use the characters before, like Shu, Free, whatever, that's fine. But you literally have Valt with / Valkyrie, and there's not even like one time where you've even battled against Arthur, which is so ridiculous. And that is like a fair criticism, I would say. It's like, why do they have these characters but they don't utilize their cast properly? And that's the problem too, because a lot of times in GT, we'll go through all this stuff, but then after the pacing gets so whacked that we spend so much time on one thing when we could have spent maybe more time, like, you know, at least not a little bit more equal to everything, or at least stuff that would make a lot of sense. You know, Valt's like a fan favorite character. I don't see why, or even in general, I don't see why it wouldn't act. But regardless of that mini rant, next episode is Genesis versus Imperial, which I'm like, all right, yeah, no, that's it. Hopefully Drum wins. Probably Drum will win, or he'll explore, probably Awaken Imperial, something like that. Overall, decent episode, a few minor complaints, and yeah, I'll probably get some news next week because there's nothing at the end of the episode. So, as per usual, I will do the thing where I just do a battle at the end. And you tell me in the comment section below your thoughts. No, people usually like to see the battles at the end, so you know, I guess I'll have some fun. We have Gold Turbo Imperial. We got the rebound gimmick. Nice. All right. Let's do another round against Regalia. And then after I'll do 2 rounds against Apocalypse. my ignition boost failed. That is a burst finish. Ah, Imperial, no. But yeah, let's try to get this last part. It would have been so sick if that was a burst finish. No, not against me, against the Apocalypse. Ah! Darn it! I spoke too soon. Alright, this will be the last battle, all or nothing. Come on, this is related to the episode. It's gotta work. Ultimate Reboot activates. Alright, sick. Alright, that's gonna be it for now. Yeah. Oh, that's it. That's it. Thank you for watching and have an awesome and amazing day.